everyone! Welcome back to the very first introductory episode of Revamped HopeClan. I'm so sorry I've been gone so long. If you watched my update video, you'll know that I was out of the country for about a year and couldn't really make videos. I also just recently got a new computer, which means all my old clans are lost, but on the bright side, I've gotten to restart on a fresh new HopeClan, and I really like the lore I've made up for these cats. So without making this intro too long, I'll get right into this little story segment about the clan's backstory. Once upon a time, 5 clans ruled the area around a great lake. The brave and muscular Thunder Clan, the swift and long-legged Wind Clan, the proud and strong swimmers River Clan, the faithful and high-jumping Sky Clan, and the sneaky and cunning Shadow Clan. For countless moons, these 5 clans ruled fairly and justly under the sacred warrior code, and all was well and peaceful. However, nothing lasts forever. The good leaders of the clans died and were replaced by bloodthirsty young rulers who wanted nothing but power and glory, not caring who they crushed beneath their paws. This went on for moons and moons, with countless wars and famines resulting from their reigns of terror. Eventually, only the elders could remember the time when the clans were peaceful. Many feared punishment from their leaders, so they stayed silent and kept their heads down, just hoping to be able to eat their next meal. One of these elders, however, was different. A compassionate yet confident ThunderClan Tom named Carnation Dream, who was a retired warrior. He was a great storyteller and prophecy seeker, and he had prayed for moons for a sign from StarClan that they could help, but to no avail. But he wouldn't allow himself to just stand idly by and watch his beloved clan descend into ruin, a hollow shell of its former glory. So he did what elders did best. He told stories. Tales of the old ways, the old leaders, the old code to the young cats of ThunderClan. Most did not believe him, or thought of him as an old senile cat, until one particular kitten came along. After having a large litter of 5 kits, a young couple of ThunderClan had little time to spend individually with each of their children, and even less time to spend on the rent of the litter. A tiny and shy she-kit, who hadn't even been named by the time she was 2 moons old, and nobody had stepped up to help. As a result, Carnation Dream took it upon himself to care for this neglected child. Seeing the adoring look in her eyes when he told her of the stories that no one else had cared to listen to, and the goodness and kindness of her heart, filled him with a new feeling that he had not felt in a long time, and he had taken it upon himself to name her after this hopeful feeling. Soon enough, she grew up and became an apprentice, earning the name Hopepaw. Although unpopular in her own clan, she had bonded with fellow misfits of the other clans. Hopepaw would come home from gatherings excitedly, telling her adoptive father all about her lovely friends, and even meet with them a few times in secret around the border, telling only him. Not long after his daughter had received her warrior name of Hope Chaser, he informed her that he had received a prophecy from StarClan, the first in many, many moons, that she and her friends were destined to run away together and pave their own path. He even announced it at the gathering that very moon to all of the clans. The leaders and many others brushed him off or even yelled blasphemy, but Hope Chaser and her friends stayed strong, even recruiting a few other cats to their cause. Hope Chaser, Carnation Dream, and their supporters were all chased out of the gathering that very night. They trekked on for about half a moon before Carnation Dream collapsed. The stress of it all had taken a toll on his body, and he passed away on the journey there. Hope Chaser was distraught. What would she do without the guidance and support of her beloved father? But to her surprise, that very night, Carnation Dream's spirit gently woke both her and her medicine cat friend, Milk Lily. He led them up into the nearby mountains and to a small glistening pond, instructing them both to take a drink and fall asleep. They did as told, waking up in a gorgeous otherworldly valley with Carnation Dream's starry spirit warmly gazing at them. He revealed that they would be to make a new clan, as it was the will of StarClan. The pair were shocked, but agreed. Carnation Dream dubbed them Hope Star and Milk Lily of HopeClan, the first leader and medicine cat of what he hoped would be a long and successful line. However, he informed them that Hope Star would only be receiving one life. When Hope Star asked about this, Carnation Dream looked uncomfortable. With a bit more prodding, he finally came clean, that the formation of HopeClan had been no one's will but his own, and when he had died, StarClan turned him away for blasphemy and forging a prophecy. Upset but determined to see his lifelong dream of a better clan come into fruition, and knowing that no clan would survive without StarClan for long, he had decided to do what no other cat had ever done before, build a new, fresh StarClan for the cats of HopeClan. The pair of living cats were deeply troubled by this. StarClan had abandoned them, and the prophecy they had founded themselves on had been a lie. Still, though, Hope Star held so much love and respect for her father that she promised to uphold his wishes and do her best to lead HopeClan to greatness, though Milk Lily wasn't so sure. The pair returned in the morning and shared what had happened with their traveling mates, though kept out the part about the prophecy being a lie. They were met with some skepticism and surprise, but also a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. After settling beside a lake not too far down the mountain from what they had dubbed the Dream Pool after Carnation Dream, and naming mentors and deputy, HopeClan had come to its beginning, though carefully kept secrets were already running cracks through its foundation. HopeStar, as you just saw, is the founding leader of HopeClan. A 14-month-old ex-ThunderClan she-cat, HopeStar actually wanted to be a medicine cat some time ago. Along with her genuine faith in StarClan, she was also quite compassionate and good at speaking and calming others down, but decided to walk the path of a warrior instead with Carnation Dream's advice. She's always been shy and timid, but now with the knowledge that there was barely any StarClan there to help her, and that HopeClan's founding was not, in fact, written in the stars as she'd wanted to believe, it's made her flat-out paranoid. On top of that, with Carnation Dream's death, she was the only ex-ThunderClan cat in the group. She felt a bit ostracized despite having all her friends together. She leans a lot on Milk Lily for support, though their relationship is a bit tense right now, as HopeStar wants to keep the StarClan situation a secret from the clan as to not ruin Carnation Dream's reputation and fulfill his dream, while Milk Lily wants to be honest with the clan. Her apprentice is Sneezepaw, in an attempt to prove to everyone, and herself, that despite barely being out of apprenticehood herself, she's responsible enough to be a warrior and leader and take on those duties. Demnip is a 95-month-old tomcat, and at first glance he doesn't seem like the best choice for deputy. He's quite playful and childish, always lightly teasing his clanmates and cracking jokes, and can be a bit self-centered at times. On top of that, he hadn't even been in HopeStar's original friend group, only joining on a whim at the gathering after being moved by her and Carnation Dream's speech. His relaxed attitude actually caused some to question HopeStar's choice, but his contagious silliness and likability makes him quite popular otherwise. Though he doesn't look it, he had once been a respected senior warrior of SkyClan, and HopeStar chose him as her deputy for his helpful insight, excellent teaching ability, and popularity. Milk Lily is a 16-month-old Tom, once the medicine cat apprentice of SkyClan. He's compassionate and fairly clairvoyant, having been visited the most in the clan by Carnation Dream besides HopeStar herself. However, he's going through a rough time. By the lake, he had fallen in love with the loner, but not long before leaving with HopeClan, his clanmates had found out and killed the loner in vengeance for making their medicine cat break the code. On top of that, he's the only other cat in the clan besides HopeStar that knows the prophecy was fabricated, and he has to grapple with his own feelings about it along with helping support HopeStar. He saw this as Carnation Dream using and manipulating them for his own crazy dream, though HopeStar refused to think of her loving father in that way. He's concerned at the lengths she's willing to go to protect him and thinks they should come clean so their friends are all aware of the situation, but he knows it's risky right now due to her rocky mental state, and for the time being has decided to go along with keeping it a secret. The pair are quite dependent on each other already. Weed Whisker is 15 moons old and the first mediator of HopeClan. She was once the RiverClan mediator apprentice. She had always been a sort of outcast due to her being a dry paw and even having a fear of water after watching her brother drown as a kitten when their father threw him into the river in a sink-or-swim strategy. She had also lost hope of ever truly being helpful in RiverClan as a mediator due to how terrible clan relations had become. HopeClan had given her, well, hope. She was still closest with her fellow ex-RiverClan cats Cloudy Eyes and Runnelpaw, although she was also very close with the other younger cats as she was part of that original cross-clan friend group. The oldest cat in the clan at 115 moons, Cloudy Eyes is a charismatic Tom who's a great speaker and a fish-like swimmer. He had long since grown tired of the toxicity and strictness of the old clans, and for a long time felt as if his life was practically over. He had never found a mate or had kids, or ever climbed any rank higher than senior warrior. He had never gotten to do any of the things he had dreamed of since he was young. But when Hope Chaser and Carnation Dream announced their plan to leave at the gathering and called on other cats to join them, he saw his chance at escape and took it. Now in HopeClan he feels as though the sky is the limit. Despite being the oldest cat in the clan, he feels just as bright-eyed and hopeful as his younger clanmates. He's closest with his fellow ex-RiverClan cats, Runnelpaw, who he's helping to finish up his training, and Weed Whisker, as well as his fellow senior warriors, Demnip and Cave Moon. Cave Moon is by far the youngest of the 3 senior warriors in the clan, as well as the only she-cat. She's 55 moons old and had decided to leave for a better life on a whim at the gathering. She's shameless, a bit smug and full of herself, and cares a lot about her appearance, but she's also surprisingly patient. She's a good teacher and she has a keen eye, so she knows just how to identify her students' mistakes and how to correct them. She quite likes Gorgepaw, as they're both ex-Shadow Clan cats, and she sees her younger self in them a lot and is helping her finish up her training, but she also gets along with the other older warriors of the clan, Cloudy Eyes and Stemnip, despite being significantly younger than either of them. She feels a bit lonely as the only cat in her age group, but is making the most of her situation. A 15-month-old gender-fluid cat once of Wind Clan, Faith Speckle had been ridiculed all their life due to his mother's outsider roots. She had grown not to care about what other cats thought of him, coming off as quite shameless to many, and even getting bullied throughout their childhood and apprenticehood for it. However, this has led to her becoming wise beyond their years, and on top of a naturally good hunter, he's also got quite helpful insight that can even match that of the senior warriors. Gorgepaw is an 11-moon-old demi-she-cat from ShadowClan with the WindClan father. She never sits still and is easily distracted, and as such many ShadowClan cats deemed her as troublesome on top of an outsider, even their own mother. They were deeply hurt by this, finding solace in her friends and Cave Moon, who became somewhat of a big sister to them. Once Hope Chaser announced her plan to start up HopeClan, Gorgepaw was 100% sold on it, much more loyal to any one of her friends than she had ever been to ShadowClan. Cave Moon is helping her finish up her training. An 11-moon-old tomcat, formerly of RiverClan, Runnelpaw, like Gorgepaw and Faith Speckle, is the child of a cat outside the clan. His father had been a loner who had never joined the clan, and his mother a RiverClan warrior, and as a result had been shunned by the clan. But, unlike Faith Speckle, who simply learned to not care what others thought, Runnelpaw acted cold, only pretending not to care. Deep down, he felt alone and hopeless. His clanmates' whispers and gossips about him cut him deep, which angered him further. He didn't want to care, but he just couldn't help it. He trained so hard to be a good RiverClan cat. He could swim well and was picky about his building his nest, so only seashells and traditional RiverClan decorations lined his moss, but they never accepted him no matter how hard he tried. He found solace in just 2 cats who accepted him for who he was, Weed Whisker and Cloudy Eyes, and he loves both of them dearly, as well as the other young cats who were in that original cross-clan friend group. When Hope Chaser announced that she would be leaving, Runnelpaw saw his chance to escape his miserable life and took it, looking onwards happily to his future as a HopeClan warrior. A 7-moon-old charismatic Tom, originally from WindClan, Sneezepaw lives up to his name, seemingly always to be sneezing or snipped, which has led many in his old clan to believe he was cursed. He tried his best to prove himself, but after his own family distanced himself from him, he felt hopeless and alone, until the announcement Hope Chaser and Carnation Dream made at the Gathering, which just so happened to be his very first, where he saw his chance at a better future and took it. He's eternally grateful to Hope Star and looks up to her a lot, training hard in his free time by hunting moss balls and hoping to become a great warrior despite the obstacles he's faced. And finally, in StarClan, we have Carnation Dream. You already know his backstory. He took in Hope Kit when she was a young kitten as part of a greater plan to preserve the culture of the original clans, raising her to have great faith in StarClan. Once she was of age, he faked a prophecy in order to convince her to take her friends to start a new clan, one that valued the warrior code and their ancestors. He admittedly hadn't expected to die in the journey, nor for StarClan to fully abandon him, but this betrayal only fueled his ambition to build an even greater, better StarClan, and an even better, stronger living clan than even the original 5 had been in their prime. Though his motives and goals were admirable, his means of achieving them were less so. Still, he does genuinely love Hope Star and truly sees her as his daughter, and fully intends to help aid and guide her throughout her leadership from beyond the grave. Hi, this is the outro. It's not really scripted, it's just like bullet points, so I probably sound kind of different. I'm kind of just winging it right now. I promise I'll get better at reading from a script, and also the audio quality, I promise, will get better soon with next updates to the series, which I promise updates are coming, new videos are coming. I just don't know when, because my life is going to have some pretty major changes in the next couple months. I'm not going to say exactly what, just for privacy reasons, but I promise they will be out. I'm aiming for January, that's my goal, but don't be surprised if it's like February, March, April, somewhere in there. I promise I will not abandon the series though. I love the characters and the plot that I've made, as I've said before, and I'm really passionate about continuing this. This is probably the most passionate I've been about ClanGen in a long time. Also, if you have any like plot ideas or anything, just let me know, because I kind of like have no idea where I'm gonna go with it. I just really like the setup. What's your thoughts on Carnation Dream? Because piecing together his story was really fun, but I can't really tell if I hate him or love him, or just kind of mixed about him. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one, hopefully. Bye bye.